Testing, testing, one, two, three. Okay, greetings, beautiful and sacred souls, beautiful and sacred soul sisters. I am Queen Leah of Beautiful and Sacred Things. Beautiful and Sacred Things, yes. I want to thank you, whether you are here live, thank you for being here live, or you're listening to the recording. I want to appreciate you for taking time out of your busy life, your full schedule, to get this word today. And let me tell you, this live experience called Diary of a Goddess is happening this week, Wednesday through Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's 4 days, and I am going to be pouring into you with some awesome wisdom teaching from my life journey, things that I have learned in my spiritual studies, along my spiritual path, as well as in my life experience, and of course the very regarded and the very appreciated knowledge and wisdom of my elders that has been passed on to me, my family elders, my cultural elders, my spiritual elders, my godparents, you name it. So I give homage and I give appreciation to all of the people on whose shoulders I stand, those who are living and those who are departed, as well. I give honor and appreciation to the divine forces of creation, Creator, God, Mother, Father, Source, and Supply. So again, thank you for being here. Now, before I get into our purpose and into our teaching, I want to address the obvious. Why is she in her car? Let me tell you, this usually happens from my home. I go into my home office, I go into my sacred space, and I broadcast and I do my teachings there. Well, today, not in fact today, but for the past few days, my internet connection has been unstable. So I've been working from my satellite office, which I call the public library. And so I could not get a meeting room. Therefore, I am doing what is required. That's one of the things we have to do, soul sisters. We have to do what is required so that we can fulfill our mission and we can fulfill our purpose. So I am literally in my car. I have a Wi-Fi connection that is rolling, and I'm doing what I got to do because I am so committed to my purpose. And I am so committed to bringing you this message today that here I am. So I hope you can appreciate it as much as I do. So what is Diary of a Goddess? Diary of a Goddess is my story. In recent years, I have gone through another evolution, another transformation, which is the nature of our life paths. Who you are in your 20s is not who you will be in your 30s. It's not who you will be in your 40s. And I'm a woman who is in her 40s, and I would anticipate that who you are in your 40s is not certainly who you would be in your elder years, in your legacy years in 70 or 80. If you can look back, over your life, and you tend to feel that you are still the same person in this decade that you were in the former decade, that means you have not been growing. And life is a journey of growth. That's what it's about. It is about growing. It is about expanding. It is about becoming all of who you are born to be, becoming the woman who you are born to be. And the nature of this soul journey is that it is evolutionary, it's expansive. It's a journey. It's a journey. It's a journey of discovering. And the more that I live, I really realize that it's a journey of remembering some things that are essential truths that are at your core. It's already there. The Creator put it there in you. And it is your process of remembering, in some cases, unlearning things that have been taught to you, perhaps by well-meaning parents, well-meaning teachers. Not saying you discard everything. I'm not saying you throw away the baby with the bathwater, but for you to be in alignment with your true purpose, your true soul calling, to honor your true heart's desires. It may not always be popular. It may not always be approved by other people. It may even sometimes be scorned, ridiculed, or mocked. But you have a mission here. You made a sacred contract, and you made an agreement in the spirit realm that when you came from spirit and incarnated as a body, that you would do certain things in this lifetime. And so again, those foundational years with our family, those are foundation. But when you become an adult and when you step into your womanhood, you owe it to yourself to be authentic and to be unapologetic about who you are. And some women, it seems kind of easy and effortless that they just step into who they are. For me, it has been more of a journey. But at every turn, as I have been courageous, I have gained more confidence. At every time in which I've had the boldness to speak my truth, I've become more fearless. At every time in which I have become clear about who I am and what I want, and being okay with what I really, really want and what I really, really desire, the more easily I have been able to manifest it as my reality. And this is not just my story. This is a story of amazing women who I know. This is your story. This is our story. And this is what I call our divine feminine journey. Understanding that at our core, we are divine beings. When we look at the teachings of the major religions, I'm going to say that, often God is presented as a trinity that is male, okay? The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. That is the foundation of my teachings as a child. But I'm also going to let you know that in cultural traditions around the world, and even in Christianity itself, when you get into deep, deep teachings about Christianity, you'll discover that there is also a divine being, a divine essence. I should say this. There is also a God aspect, an aspect of the Creator that is feminine also. So when we look around nature, you know, I'm like right now, I'm looking at these beautiful trees, this grass, this beautiful pink flower right here. When we look at animals, when we look at who we are as human beings, of course, it takes a male principle and a female principle to create life. And there is no difference in that. There is also a feminine aspect of the Creator. So that's not really why we're here today. That gets into another counterpart, another element of the work that I teach and the work that I do with women, and that I'm so joyful to be able to be doing at this point in my life. But this is why we are here. We are here, and it really, it's all connected. But here for Diary of a Goddess. Diary of a Goddess is my story of transformation. It is some of my most powerful and poignant stories of becoming who I am. I've gone through some hard knocks in recent years, but I found that this particular rough road, this particular rock bottom experience that I had, it was necessary for me to go through it, because it brought me into it brought me into perfect awareness of who I am and whose I am. It brought me into my power as a woman, and it also landed me right square in the middle of my purpose of being a sacred arts for living teacher, an artist, and a healer. So again, this is not who I was and not what I was doing, but everything has been building. It's been building in increments. So there are 4 things that I want to impart to you. 4 things that I want to impart to you that I call the universal questions that you should be asking of the creator of all creation, that you should be asking of the creator within you. Okay? The God that is within you, which is the source, or which is connected to the source, which is the God of creation. And these are the 4 questions. Write it down. I hope you have your paper and your pen. I should have said that earlier. So these are the 4 questions. These are the what I call the 4 big questions. And as you get into clarity about the answer to those questions, you will find that you will make some necessary course corrections in your life, because those become anchor truths. Anchor truths. So if you can imagine, a yacht, if you can imagine a large vessel, if you can imagine a cruise ship, okay? And if you've ever seen a cruise ship, or any boat for that matter, they have like these really huge anchors. The larger the boat, the larger the anchor, right? And so to keep this boat from going off course, to keep it from moving so that it can be stationary, okay, so that it just doesn't flow anywhere, the captain of the boat or his or her crew will put down an anchor. And these anchor truths are things that anchor your soul. They anchor your soul in knowing who you are, so that as different things come into your life, as you encounter the ups and downs of the life journey, as you encounter hardships, challenges, different inputs, different influences, these are things that you know, and therefore you cannot be easily swayed or easily taken off course, because these are your anchor truths. So this is the first big question that you must ask and appeal and seek to know within yourself what the truth is. The first question is this: who am I? Who am I? So when I asked that question years ago, I'm not going to tell you what the answer is. I'm not going to tell you what the answer is, because I want you to come into that truth for yourself. And maybe at a later point in one of my courses, we can go into that. But who am I? But this is what I will tell you. Who you are is not your profession. Who you are is not your job. Who you are is not your title or your role. Those are some of the ways in which you express who you are, but that's not really the core truth of who you are. Who you are is not defined externally. It cannot be defined by external things, by what you do and who you are in relationship to. So that's the first big question. Excuse me, who am I? Now, the next big question: what is my purpose? What is my purpose? And I'm going to take a moment. Thank you for being here live. Can you just kind of chat here and let me know that you can hear me? I want to make sure everything is coming through. Okay, so if you can hear me, just let me know. Very good. So, who am I is the first big question. And the second big question is, what is my purpose? So this is what I will share and teach with you about purpose. Your purpose, I opened up by saying this, your purpose is ever expanding. There are certain things that you are to do at different points in your life, okay? However, your purpose is not necessarily your career, though it can be. It's not necessarily your job, though it can be. It can be aligned with how you make money in the world, how you earn an income. But let me tell you this is a sweet, sweet thing that I discovered about purpose. One, it expands and it grows. And really, your purpose is what you choose it to be. How are you going to show up with your unique and God-given gifts and talents and express your purpose in a way that, one, brings you joy, okay, brings you joy. If it brings you joy, it's pleasing to God. If it brings you joy, it's in alignment with the whole vibration of the universe. The universe is nothing but, not nothing but the universe is an expression. Creation is an expression of ecstatic, blissful joy. Ecstatic, blissful joy. And I want to thank Sister Olaomi for just teaching that so very clearly. But everywhere we just see the beauty of nature. We see flowers that are blooming and just right now in the summer season here where I am in the deep south, where things are just blooming and showing off their beauty, showing off their fragrance. Butterflies soaring through the sky, bees humming. That is bliss, that is joy, that is ecstasy, that is abundance. And so therefore, the thing that you declare and that you create to be your purpose should be joy bringing to you. Please do not squander the good years of your life. Do not squander the good years of your life doing work that is oppressive, that is burdensome, and that is not honoring of your gifts and talents. So if you find yourself in a present scenario that looks or feels like that, you have the opportunity to give yourself permission to make a new choice. Okay? So your purpose in your younger years will expand, it will evolve, and it may look different from your purpose in your latter years. But as long as you are following your heart's calling, as long as you are following and honoring those things that just sing to you, those things that you think about, dream about, know that you can do, and know that you have the ability to do because of your gifts and talents. Not saying you can't grow and learn. Of course you can. You can always improve, but that is a key to your purpose. Don't wait for your purpose to come in a dream. Don't wait for your purpose to show up with somebody bringing you a message. Don't wait for your purpose to come as a burning bush. Don't wait for your purpose to come as some big, sonic boom message. Your purpose, you already know it. You just have to tune into it and to be obedient to follow it, okay? Number 3, these are the 4 big questions to ask, as I promised in your signing up. What is the lesson I am to learn? What is the lesson that I need to learn? So as we journey through life, women, sisters, as we journey through life, you're going to hit some knocks. You're going to hit some hard spots. That's just life, because we are spiritual bodies. We are spiritual beings in a human body having a soul experience, okay? You are a spiritual being in a human body having a soul experience. These are lessons that your soul has agreed to come here and learn in fulfillment of your assignment. And why are you learning these lessons? Like, what's up? Like, what's really going on? Why am I learning these lessons? Why do I have to go through hard things? Because you're to teach someone else on their journey of their soul. So it's like we all need one another. We are all here to be companions, to be supportive, to be guides, and to assist one another in our soul ascension. And ultimately, it's to give the Creator glory. Everything is to give the Creator glory, to give glory to the Creator of the universe, the source and supply, and to honor and to give appreciation and celebration of the Creator God that is within you. So, what was that question? What was the third big question? The third big question is, what am I to be learning? When you find yourself going through something, and I'm going to get to my story, I'm going to get into sharing about that. But when you're going through something, there's something that you need to learn there. By being angry, by being upset, by begrudging the experience, that does not really empower you. The empowering thing to do as a wise woman is to pray and to seek and to know, what is the lesson that I am to be learning in this experience? And just as you pray and ask to know anything, knock and the door shall be open, the answers will be revealed unto you. And as you gain that lesson, Then you have a responsibility to use the information, to use the understanding that you have gained about why you're going through this, because it's not about the other person. I promise you that. It's not about what they're doing to you. It's not about what they did to you. Not saying that they don't have responsibility. Of course they do. Of course they have a responsibility to the Creator as well. But your job is not to make them pay necessarily. Your job is to learn your lesson, to internalize your lesson, and then to use that wisdom moving forward on your journey so you do not have to repeat that experience again, okay? Make sure you learn the lesson. Make sure that you get it, because you will continue to repeat that experience. It may show up with different people. It may show up with different circumstances. It may show up in a different time in your life, but learn the lesson so that you don't have to keep knocking your head. Don't be hard-headed. Get the lesson, use it, and begin to transform yourself, recreate your life as necessary so that you can keep it moving, okay? And the fourth big question, the fourth big universal question to ask is, how am I to serve? How am I to serve? And really that question brings it all together. The who am I, the what is my purpose, the what am I to learn here, and then how am I to serve? With all of those things, they really come together, because again, and I was sharing that a little bit earlier on, your gifts and your talents are a gift. They are a gift. And what do we do with gifts? We give them away. We give them away. Even in the Holy Scripture of the Bible, it says that your gifts will make room for you. Okay, your gifts will make room for you. So if you are an eloquent speaker, you should be speaking. If you are a beautiful, graceful dancer, you should be dancing. If you are an awesome teacher, if you can break it down and make it so understandable for people, you should be teaching. If you are a musician, play your music. If you are an inventor, create. Whatever those gifts and talents are in your way, do what you can right now with what you have. Do what you can, even right now, starting with what you have. Don't put it off. So many times we will lose years of our life because we think things have to be perfect. I can get started when I have this, when I know this, when this is happening, when I look this way, when this has changed, when the children are grown up, when I've lost 20 pounds, when he finally starts acting right. Whatever your what if is, erase the what ifs. There are no what ifs. All you have is now. That is the only moment you have is now. One of my sister friends was teaching on this. Thank you, Dr. Kamisha, for bringing that home. All we have is this moment. And so life is so precious. Let's do this. Take a breath. Take a breath. Very good. That breath, that is your connection to source and supply. The breath. That is your connection to the divine. That breath is your connection to God. And at the moment in which the breath ceases, you have moved on to another existence, okay? Your spirit has left your body and you have moved on. So you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to seize the moment of now of your life, to share your gifts, to share your talents unapologetically, to forgive yourself for any poor choices, to learn how to love yourself more deeply, and to begin showing up for yourself and for those for whom you are responsible, mothers, okay? I'm a mother too. To begin showing up for yourself in a way that is utterly self-loving. So that is what I had to learn the hard way. I had to learn it the hard way, that I had to love myself so much that I would choose myself over choosing an agreement that I had made to a person who I still love and still care for. But I realized that my agreement to be in my marriage, and now I'm going to go ahead and tell my story. For 5 years almost, I was married to a man who I believe I had prayed for. I had prayed and had become very, very specific because, you know, elders and wise people had told me, pray for what you want for, like be specific, be very, very specific. And I'm not really talking about physical characteristics, but, you know, be specific about the quality and the character of a mate that you want to have. And so this is what I wrote. This is my journal. This is one of my journals. I have stacks of them. This was in January 16, 2004. Here we go. Okay. My journals are not neat. They don't have to be neat. It's your journal. You do with it what you want to, but this is how I process, work through my ideas, get clear, hear what I need to hear, know what I need to know. And so just things aren't like cluttering up your thoughts. Like go ahead and use your journal, get a notebook and let that be your own sacred space, okay? For writing out what you need to write out. There are no rules, okay? There is no right or wrong way. January 16th, 2004. I seek and desire to be my goddess self in loving relationship with a good, reliable, trustworthy, mature, generous, loving, kind, self-responsible African man who loves women, including me, my son, and my family, and all of who I am on purpose, as and because he and I are brought together for God's most high purpose. I feel and want him to be a focused, motivated, community-minded, respected, and prosperous businessman. Flexibility, strength. I need him to be graceful in his movement because I love dancing, a powerful dancer. So, a man with a wonderful African spirit who will work with me to magnetize and build our community. All right, that's what I wrote. I was pretty specific. Do you think I was specific? I think I was specific. Maybe not specific enough. Let me say this is a disclaimer. My whole purpose in sharing from my diary and sharing from my rock bottom lesson is not to disparage anyone. It's not about throwing rocks. It's certainly not about blaming. And it's certainly not because I am upset nor in any sort of disharmony with the person who I married. In fact, thank God and thank myself, the God within me, for seeking to heal that relationship. And so, though we are not married, we are successfully, to the best of our ability at this point. There's room for growth, of course, but we are respectfully working with one another to co-parent our children. However, let me say this. I'm not throwing rocks because, again, we know Facebook, we know social media. Who knows who will see this? I'm putting this out here. This is not about me blaming. I, Leia, Queen Leia Lewis, accept full responsibility for entering into this relationship. And at that point in my life, I was making what I believe to be the best decision that I could. I was making the best choice that I can. So sisters, you need to know this. If someone, yourself included, beginning with yourself, but then let's even consider the people who you are in relationship with. At any given point, any person is expressing him or herself to the highest degree of their level of consciousness. I'm going to say that again. At any point, any person who you are in relationship with, even you yourself, are expressing yourself. They are expressing themselves to the highest level of their consciousness. What is your consciousness? Your consciousness is your mindset. Your consciousness is your thoughts. Your consciousness is your belief. So as you believe, so is your world. As you think, as a woman thinketh, so shall it be. Okay? Know thyself. So based upon what you know, based upon what you believe, based upon what you think is possible, that is what your world is going to look like. So you may believe that the person who you are with should be showing up in his or her, his manhood in a certain kind of way. But if his consciousness has not reached that level of being responsible, of being financially diligent, of honoring you as the queen who you are, as being a respectful protector and caretaker of the children, of honoring you as a woman and speaking to you respectfully, consciously, beautifully, and in enduring ways. If his mind ain't there, he can't do it. It's that simple. He can't do it because his consciousness has not yet grown or evolved to that place, either because of social influence or because of what he just wants to believe, because of what he has been socialized to believe by his peers, by his family, by community, by media, whatever. So that's why we have to be very mindful as of women, as in terms of where we get our messages from, what we are thinking, what we are learning, what we're feeding our minds with, Okay. Now back to the story. I had to take that necessary teachable moment to share that. What happened is, even though in 2004, I was very clear about the quality of relationship and the quality of marriage that I wanted, I did not choose a partner who lived up to that. I did not choose a partner who was in his real life showing day to day through his actions that he was that kind of person. Wonderful qualities, wonderful, admirable traits, made me laugh, made me feel good about myself, kind to me, kind to my son, got along well with my family, had a beautiful family of his own, beautiful children, a beautiful child of his own, an adult child at that point, worked well with me in some of the projects, some of the community work that I was doing. He had a lot of positive, and has a lot of positive qualities. However, the other things that I did desire in terms of a person who was responsible, mature, pragmatic, security minded, ambitious, business oriented, reliable, deeply, deeply spiritual, like really centering himself in his spiritual life and really on a very clear spiritual path. Those were qualities that he had not at the time cultivated. And so because I chose to proceed with the relationship and to continue to cultivate this relationship, and even to continue by marrying this person, ultimately I entered into a marriage that was not honoring what did I talk about at the beginning? My heart's desires. That was not honoring the true needs and the true yearning of my soul, and what I as a queen, knew that I needed to be reflected to me as a mate. So was I that unto myself? Yeah, I really was. Yes, really. I did have a lot of those things going on for myself. The financial responsibility, the tangible responsibilities of being a homeowner, being a car owner, of course, having graduated from school and having a career, working deeply in my community, being a community leader. So all of those attributes I felt to be important that I possessed, I wanted in a partner, but the person who I chose did not have them. And so what I did was, I'm going to give you this word. What did I do? I settled. So it's not his fault. It is my responsibility that I chose, and I went ahead with entering into a relationship that I knew was not my ideal. Now, I'm going to tell you this also. Were there signs? Yes. Plenty, a plethora. There were plenty of signs. I had plenty of signs, warnings, red flags that I should not really proceed with the relationship. But why did I do it? Because one, the first demon that seeks to destroy a woman and her sense of self and her purpose is this. It is doubt. So each day I'm going to tell you about these snares and these traps, these games, these mind games that other people try to play on us as women, and those snares and traps that when we step into it, we believe the mind game, okay? We begin to take it on and we begin to think ourselves outside of our first mind. We tend to think ourselves outside of our better good. So I want to caution you. I want to warn you, because what did I say? Life is precious. The years that you have, you must make the most prudent, wise, intelligent, self-honoring, self-loving decisions that you can make. Because when you fail to do that, you may find it necessary for you to go learn one of those life's lessons. What am I here to learn? What am I here to learn? You might very well be going through it. In fact, I would imagine that if you are watching this video and if you have been engaged and intrigued to watch this series, you probably can relate to some of the things that I'm speaking of. So the first big demon that seeks to get us as women is doubt. What is doubt? Doubt is a lack of trusting your intuition. Boom. Doubt means you have a lack of trusting your intuition. What is intuition? Intuition, and other people have said this is not a Queen Leia original. This might be a Mama Iyanla Van Zant, but it's all true. When you have intuition, you have your power, your spiritual power, your feminine power as a woman, and excuse me, my nails need some work. You have your spiritual power of a woman, thank you, activated to see into it. Into it. Intuition. INTUITON. Into it, I see. Into it, I see. That is what intuition means. When you can see into a situation, believe what you see. Now, I'm saying the word see, and again, when we think about the senses, seeing is visual, but for you, your intuition may be, you may literally see signs, you may see red flags, you may see something, you may see it, okay? You may hear something, okay? You may feel something. It may be a gut instinct, something that you're feeling, something is not right. Sisters, soul sisters, trust your intuition. That's why it is there. It is one of the divine feminine gifts that we have. It is well known through all sorts of cultures, through all sorts of mythologies, through all sorts of things that are passed on from woman to woman, person to person, that women have have a sharp sense of intuition. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And you have it for a reason, because it's a gift from the Creator to help you be in alignment with your spiritual path, to help you stay on course, and to help you navigate your way through this journey. So because I did not honor my intuition, I went ahead and let my rational mind, my thinking mind, find reasons to convince myself of why I should enter into the relationship. Well, yeah, I should, because I'm a single mom and my son needs a male role model, and I can't really teach him how to be how to be a man, and I can't keep dating these people, and it's time for me to go ahead and settle down, and he's a really nice guy, and this and that and the yonder and so forth. And so I convinced myself to do it, even though my intuition and even though experiences that I was having. And when I say see what you believe, like literally, like see, open your eyes, like literally see what is happening. Okay, so time after time after time, in my case, when this person who I loved and cared for and cared and loved for me, but who showed himself not to be reliable, could not get to places on time, okay? Would get there, but was not consistent in, my expectation, wanting him to be timely. Can I be more timely? Of course I can, but was not on time. Running out of gas, literally, like running out of gas in the car, and like, I'm saving you to go get gas. Those were red flags. Like, why would you even, why would I make that choice? But I had convinced myself to do so. The other piece that I want to go to is with doubt. Your intuition is there to keep you on track. Your first mind is another way that we talk about intuition. Follow your first mind. Open your eyes, believe what you see, okay? That does not mean people do not have the opportunity to grow. We all do. We all have the room and the space to grow and to become better people. But when it comes to your choice of a life partner, of a mate, a person with whom you are going to be sowing the years of your life with and investing, you as a woman, please hear me, you as a woman have every right to have very specific expectations of who that person is. This list like I had, at some point, clearly my list became buried under other things, under other responsibilities, and it was not top of mind. So be clear about what you want, know what you want, and believe that you can have it. Because when you do not, when you make a decision that whether it is a relationship, whether it is a career choice, whether it is moving from one town or to another town, whether it's do I enter into a business venture or do I not enter into a business venture, whatever it is, that big decision, if you do not honor your intuition and your gut and you go with the safe thing, it's called settling. And settling ultimately leads to suffering. It does. Because you, with your being a powerful woman, a beautiful woman, a woman of purpose, a woman with a mission, in any way in which you settle, your soul will not be at rest. Your spirit cannot rest with that. You're going to have a war within yourself. You are going to be at odds with yourself. And let me say this is like a technical note. I just realized I've been kind of looking here, so maybe I'm looking to the side and not directly at you, but forgive me. Hopefully tomorrow when I'm indoors, things will be even better. But yeah, going back to settling. Settling means a war within yourself. And a house divided cannot win. You are the house. You are the house. So you cannot be at odds. Your inner self cannot be at odds with your rational self. Your feeling self cannot be at odds with your thinking self. Your emotional self cannot be at odds with your spiritual self. There must be a unity. There must be union. There must be yoga. There must be oneness. There must be harmony within you. And any time at which you settle, any time at which you find yourself settling, the longer you stay in that situation, particularly when you are a conscious woman, particularly when you are committed to your growth, your evolution, your expansion, living on purpose, living in alignment with your destiny, fulfilling your sacred contract, if you settle, you will suffer because you know that you are not doing what you should be doing. So that is a mouthful, and that is a heartful. That is the real deal, okay? So I'm going to pause here. I believe we are at our moment for today. But please return on tomorrow for Diary of a Goddess with Queen Leia. If this has been a blessing to you, I want to know that. I really want to know, because I'm doing what I have been assigned to do. I'm doing the work that, how can I serve? That was my prayer. How can I serve? And I became apparently clear. It became apparently clear that this is my season to teach and to pour into the lives of you, to pour into the lives of women, because I don't want you to suffer. I don't want you to settle. I want you to be clear. I want you to believe and know that you can have what you desire. And it requires commitment on your part. But you are worth it in every way, in every way. So tomorrow we're going to go more into the topic of self-value and self-worth. Self-value and self-worth, this is what it all connects to. We're going to go a little further into some of those demons that are out to destroy and to devour who you are as a beautiful woman, so you can see the games, see the snares, and see the traps as they're coming, so you don't get caught off guard. You can recognize it, and you will have the knowledge, the awareness, and the skill to know how to negotiate and move, okay? To move swiftly and to move clearly and to move with power so that you can be about your big purpose, okay? So thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. So here are a couple of things before we close up today. One, please post in the Beautiful and Sacred Things, the Beautiful and Sacred Things page if you have any questions, any takeaways, or any ahas from this first day of the diary. If you know anyone who needs to get this teaching, please invite them to go to beautifulandsacredthings.com//goddess, beautifulandsacredthings.com/goddess, and let them know you need to be here. You need to catch this. And if you want to listen to the replays, you must be a member of my private community on Facebook called Beautiful and Sacred Soul Sisters. Beautiful and Sacred Soul Sisters. It is a by invitation only Facebook group. And so you have to go to the page, and then you need to click the request to join the group. And when I see you there, I will be happy to honor the request to let wonderful women, we are a diverse group, to enter into the group and to have access to the replay. If you want to reevaluate, review, listen again, learn again, or catch it because you did not catch it the very first time. And last but certainly not least, I want to invite you to a phenomenal transformational experience that I am hosting this summer, happening July 7th through 9th in beautiful Hot Springs, Arkansas, America's first resort city. 3 days of divine feminine empowerment training from the inside out, learning how to step into your divine feminine power, learning how to honor yourself as the woman who you are, learning how to express your goddess self. And it is called the Goddess Event. The Goddess Event is happening this summer, and it is co-hosted with my number one soul sister, colleague, co-creative partner, my homegirl, and an amazing teacher, an amazing actress, performer, director, entertainer, producer, Mrs. Angelique Feaster Evans. We are hosting the Goddess Event, and I understand that the timeline is near, but for some of you, you are going to hear this. Women, you're going to hear it, and you know that you need to be there. You know that you need to be in a supportive community of women. You need to be poured into. You need to find out the real deal so that you will not have to bump your head and learn the hard way, so that you can be equipped for living this goddess lifestyle, honoring the divinity that is within you, honoring your purpose, honoring your calling. 3 days of transformation, feminine teaching, sisterhood, and spa pampering. So to learn more about the Goddess Event, simply go to beautifulandsacredthings.com, and you can click on events. Okay, it's there. And the more direct path is to go to thegoddessevent.com, the GODDESSEVENT, thegoddessevent.com. So if you have any questions in this process, send me a message, okay? Just inbox me at beautifulandsacredthings.com. Inbox me at the Facebook page of Beautiful and Sacred Things, or you can inbox me at the Beautiful and Sacred Soul Sisters group once you become a member there. So thank you. I look forward to continuing this lesson and these teachings. Remember, these are some beautiful school children that are walking by. No, it's okay. They're so beautiful. That's a good sign. So anyways, thank you for being here. I'm gonna wrap it up. Come back tomorrow. Come back tomorrow on Thursday, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time for Diary of a Goddess with Queen Leia. Peace and blessings. You're welcome.